Hello everybody, my name is Laura Belgrave with Ever Onward Media, and like I presume many of you are, I am in fact a business startup. I went solo after having been working on staff for many years, not quite 3 months ago, and I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot about what I don't know, for one thing, but I learned something really important just the other day, and I want to share this story so I can sort of segue into what I'm doing next. Okay, listen. Friday, just this past Friday, I got a call from my sister, who is about 45 minutes away from me in sunny South Florida, and she needed a ride. You have to have a ride if you're going to get an epidural, and she was to get her first. Of course, she was understandably nervous. I've had them. I know what they're like, although I try not to suggest that. Anyway, I said, sure, not because I don't have work to do. I do. I work in social media, communications for clients, video for clients. That's what I'm doing as a solopreneur. I guess that's the word these days. Basically, working on my own. But I went, and I took her. Now, to add to this, that took some time, of course, to be there in her physician's office where this was being conducted, to get her there, to wait it out, to bring her home, make sure she was okay, and then guess what? Although I really wasn't planning on going, I said I would, but in my mind I really wasn't going to. I decided that I would indeed follow up, as I had promised, and go to a party of people I had previously worked with on staff, but hadn't seen for maybe 2 to 4 years. Whew. So I hung out at my sister's house until the appointed time, which is basically after normal working hours, which is not a luxury most of us enjoy. And off I went with her to this gig. It was in a restaurant. There must have been 35, 40 of us, and we were raucous as hell. I kid you not. Well, the point of the story is this. Although that was a reunion party, it occurred during the holiday season. We're all experiencing that, right? There's so much more that has to happen. But if we're just starting up, the temptation is to say, I can't. We started our businesses so we could be our own boss and do what we needed to do, at the same time understanding, of course, that we have huge responsibilities. We have enormous learning curves. We rely on some other people to help us through them all, but we can't do it all on our own. Am I right? Let me see, yes, you get it. You get what I'm talking about. But at the end of that day, which essentially took up from 10 o'clock in the morning to about 8:30 at night, I was off my computer. When I got home, in my home office, where I do all my work on a gigantic iMac and so on, what I realized was I had had a hell of a good time. Of course, I immediately checked email and so forth, and guess what? Nothing critical had happened. The world had not stopped spinning on its axis just because I took a little bit of time off. It was a grand feeling, and it's something I think we all have to pay attention to. We're in the frenzy of starting up a new business. Shortly after January, I'm going to be structuring my business in business terms which I don't understand, but I have an accountant to help me with that. I'm bleeding money, probably some of you are too, to get done some of the things we need to get done. And I'm trying to service a couple of clients, people that I had actually known from my past, which was, by the way, nursing homes as communications directors. And if you think that's not a tough business to try and promote, get out there, brand, etc., you're wrong. It's a negatively perceived business, and yet that's what I had been doing. And I thought, if I could do that, imagine what I could do on my own. So, fast forward this. That whole episode on just Friday and that glorious feeling of freedom from not being, just once, not tied to my machine, or my iPhone, or my iPad, or my laptop. Yes, 4 devices that I'm keeping up on, and all the social media accounts. I realize that life is short. Now, if you're younger than I am, maybe you don't see it quite the same way, but I'm here to urge you to take the time during this holiday season to do what's important for you, for your family, beyond your work. Guess what? Most businesses are not in full tilt mode during the holiday season. Yes, if you're working for an individual or a business that is in sales, direct sales of products, as opposed to a service industry as I tend to concentrate on, it may be a little bit different for you. That still doesn't mean you made yourself the boss that you can't set the rules, okay? And you need to set those rules because your family is important, your friends are important. Why should everybody else be out there having a grand time and we're not? That's just not right. And I think it actually can slow us down. I think during holidays and other special occasions we have to learn, really focus on scheduling a little differently, okay? Now I start off every morning with a special to-do list. I don't get through everything on that to-do list, and I bring it up to speed the next day, and I still don't get through it all because technology gets in the way. Suddenly I realize, I don't know how to do that though. I need to learn that, and so I take the time to do that. All of these things slow things down to meeting my eventual goals, okay? And then of course, client considerations will slow you down too. But remember, in fact, I don't even have, for me, Christmas, I don't even have a tree up in my house. It's the first time I have not. That's a sad statement, isn't it? I had to go dashing to stores today to do some last-minute shopping. I had no choice. Maybe that's what's happened with you too. Let this be a wake-up call. I don't care what phase you're in, of being a solopreneur, entrepreneur, a business startup, an author, for heaven's sake, which essentially is you're working on your own. You're trying to get people to notice your books. I don't care what you're doing. Understand that as busy as you are, as much as you bust your you know what I'm talking about, you need to schedule differently and remember what's important because in the end that counts more than anything. You're your boss, be your boss, okay? Just do it. The people who are out there who are huge in our stratosphere, they're doing it. Trust me, they are. And you need to do that too. Again, my name is Laura Belgrave with Ever Onward Media. That's everonwardmedia.com. Obviously, you have found me on Twitter, and I'm at facebook.com/Ever Onward Media. Let's join up, and let's not forget, we do have another part of our lives beyond work. Very important is what I'm thinking. Talk to you later. Let's share a good holiday, huh? Whatever your holiday may be.